Hey, welcome everybody to season 2 of the 7 Minutes to Better Selling podcast. I'm your host, Colin Lake. So with that in mind, I am going to welcome Dom Fabiano on the show with us. Dom is an investor. He's a restaurateur. He's an entrepreneur and an all-around really, really good guy. So Dom, welcome and thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Colin. Good morning.
How do you get from that guy doing what he was doing to this amazing restaurateur, entrepreneur, and really interesting guy?
Well, my entrepreneurial venture started really young. I considered myself a hustler, so it was I was driven by making money. My parents were immigrants that came from Italy in the 50s. They didn't speak a word of English, didn't have much money, came to Boston for opportunity. And, if I wanted new shoes or clothes or what have you in school, my dad's like, well, you're going to have to work for it. We're not just going to buy you the things that you want. And so that might have been detailing cars. That might have been uh, going down to the convenience store and buying candy and then selling it out of my locker at school for a profit.
Love that.
It was just kind of the mentality I had at a young age, and that stuck with me.
Dom, let me ask you this. This is slightly off topic, but you have a couple bucks in your pocket, thank God, due to the wonderful culture and businesses you've created. How do you do that same thing for your kids? Like, how do you you got a few bucks? How do you make them go earn their own way and not give them what they want and what they're asking for you all the time in this day and age where everyone has to have what everyone else has?
Sure. So I'm lucky that my wife, we have two children, two boys, 5 and 9, Dylan and Bryce. And, luckily we both come from a great work ethic background. The two of us share that in common, and it's something that we really want to drive home to our children. So making them work for what they have is a really important concept that we're continually driving home. So, for example, at home, it might be, something as simple as, hey, if you're getting all these chores done, then you can get, $5 in V-Bucks. Or fortunately, I have a restaurant, and my oldest, who's 9, can help out at the restaurant. Doing small tasks. We have a really robust curbside takeout business, which means that folks drive up to the front doors and they give us an order number. We give them their takeout food, and Bryce has helped with that, even just bringing the food from inside the restaurant out to the guest with a smile and earning some gratuities as a result. So
That's great. Great point. Dom, I'm gonna ask you this question. It's a single question, but I'm gonna break it into two parts. See if you can answer it in two parts. So, I said a couple of times in promotion of this podcast, you took what I would call an average business. I would even call it a below average business, in a town with a few restaurants, and you've taken it to this like behemoth restaurant where everyone wants to go, where it's always mobbed. It's terribly difficult to get a table. People want to eat your food so bad that they'll get curbside takeout, like I said, because people just want your food. It's so consistent. The staff is so good. I could go on and on about this restaurant. So how early, like very early on in this process, how did you sell yourself to build that culture, to build the restaurant the way you want it? And now that it's here, how do you continue to sell yourself every day to continue to make that culture so welcoming and so consistently exceeding people's expectations? Like, how do you sell yourself to build that business, early parts and then today?
okay, well, thank you. First of all, a lot to unpack there. I'll start with it takes a dream, right? And whatever your dream is. I mean, my 9-year-old has a dream of becoming an NHL hockey player. Whether or not that comes to fruition, time will tell. But I am driving home the fact that it's going to take hard work to get noticed, to be part of a team and compete at the highest level, right? NHL, you make it into the pros in any sport, that is the highest level, right? So I would say that I started with a dream. I wanted to own my own business. Really passionate about food. I grew up working for my family's restaurant, and it's just something that's in my blood. And being an Italian American, I think you grow up with hospitality as being a part of your blood. I love taking care of people genuinely. In fact, I never went to culinary arts school. And, I went to Northeastern University and I have a degree in supply chain management. But a lot of what I learned at Northeastern in supply chain, I applied directly to my day to day operations here at Arturo's. So hard work, dedication, and then to get to the part about selling yourself. Well, you know, I think the perception of who you are in the community is really important. Your presentation, confidence in when you speak, and making connections with people is absolutely crucial to having you state the things that you said at the beginning of this conversation. That we're a great restaurant, but the idea is we're also in the relationship business. You could come here and have a bad steak or a bad meal, and we hope we get the opportunity to make it right, and our goal is to get it right every single time. But it's about the relationships that we build. We're in a great suburban community and we have regulars, but we also have new customers that come in every single week, and it's up to myself to engage with my customers and my entire team to build relationships daily. But I genuinely enjoy what I do. I genuinely enjoy seeing people smile and stopping me and saying, "Oh my gosh, that was the best chicken parm I've had," or "That was the best cocktail I've had in a long time," or
Mm.
things like that are very rewarding and give me the drive to continue to do what I do. I think it's really important to tell a story in sales, right? And I never personally view it this way, being a restaurant owner. But when you think about it organically, you have to tell a story. I think it was Simon Sinek said it in a TED talk. I don't know when, but he said people don't buy what you do; they buy why you do it. And for example, in the restaurant, that could be when I'm chatting with guests at the table. I never tell people, "Oh, we have the best food," or "Oh, we have the best wine list." Rather, I share stories and see where the conversation goes. So it might be, "Hey, this guy Mike started an all organic winery, and we came in and we tasted 7 organic wines, and they were amazing." And that might be a segue into a discussion about wine and some of the wines that we're offering at Arturo's.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Okay, so if you want amazing food, amazing drinks, and exceptional service, Arturo's is the place. This isn't a food blog, but I will say that. And then, like one of the great hacks in life is just as Dom suggested, is when you have a dream and you have passion about executing on that dream, everything else seems really easy in order to execute on that dream. So, Dom, thanks so much for sharing, and good selling, everyone.